Davis said the Lakers are feeling some pressure to win tonight against the Bucks after blowing a 14-point fourth-quarter lead against the Warriors earlier this week. In the loss, LeBron had three missed three-pointers and three turnovers late in the game, while also missing the potential game winner. So, Skip, I have to start with you here. How concerned should the Lakers be about that collapse?
Shannon Sharp. I have bad news for you. They should be very concerned, because what happened against Golden State was not just a rare occurrence for LeBron James. This is not a blip. It's been a trend. So I'm just going to lay the stats in the middle of the table. So if we go back over LeBron's last 20 games of fourth quarters, and that dates all the way back through last year's NBA Finals, from the floor, just overall, he's shooting 42% in fourth quarters over the last 20 games. Obviously, he's a 50% overall shooter from the floor in his career in full games. And from the three-point line in those last 20 fourth quarters, he's only making 23%. And for his career in all games, regular season, he's a 34% career three-point shooter. Okay, now it gets much worse if you just do his last 7 games of fourth quarters, dating back to the San Antonio loss at home. He's just been a disaster. So overall, in those 7 fourth quarters, he is 5 of 24. 5 of 24, that's 21. And that ranks 237th over that stretch of fourth quarters in the league. From 3, he's 2 of 12 in his last 7 fourth quarters, which is 17%. That ranks overall 162nd in the league over that 7-game stretch. So, to me, LeBron's last 7 games of fourth quarters are the best kept secret in basketball, because I don't hear a peep about this trend from anybody, because to me, the blind witnesses, and there are billions of those out there led by Shannon, they see no evil. It's like these numbers have been scrubbed from his internet record. They've been expunged. They've been buried forever. Nobody acknowledges what's been happening in fourth quarters to LeBron James, because I still hear his name, even up to yesterday, in the middle of the early MVP race in the NBA. His PER has fallen all the way to 23rd in the league, which by his standards is scary bad. I mean, even Paul George has a better PER than LeBron James. And if you look at Paul George's fourth quarter numbers this year, man, he's 50% from the field, 44% from 3, and has made all 12 of his free throws. So Paul George is playing at a high level, much higher than LeBron. So I will now hand it over to you to explain to me how these numbers just don't matter.
Well, without no explanation. They don't need to, first of all, to answer your big question and what Jenny asked, they don't need to be concerned. LeBron James is playing the fewest minutes per game, the fewest fourth quarter minutes per game in his NBA career. He's also working with Dennis Schroeder now being the primary ball handler, and Marc Gasol. You told me that the other guys needed, when the Clippers were losing, they talk about they needed reps. They need reps. LeBron and them still have tied for the best record in the NBA. But for some reason, there's something sinister going on here that we don't want to talk about. Maybe they need reps. I'm not saying LeBron has not shot the ball well this year. He hasn't shot the ball well in the fourth quarter. That's nothing. I mean, if you're watching the games, you see that. But we see, and I believe, I understand what they're trying to do. They want to make sure it was a fast turnaround. And LeBron, we can't be playing you 36, 37 minutes early in the season. So they're trying to keep the minutes low. I get all that.
Not missing games, though. He hadn't missed a game.
No.
He hasn't sat out a game.
Now, and I don't really understand. I don't know what they're going to do, Skip, as far as the All-Star game. I'm sure they're going to have, okay, you get selected and you'll probably choose up teams. You're not going to play, because I think it's going to probably end up being called off, but you're going to probably get a whole week off there. And I think they're just trying to get to that point, and then LeBron James, and then you'll see those minutes all of a sudden from going from the low 32s to maybe 33, 34, 35. I don't see him playing averaging more than 35 minutes per game. But he hasn't shot the ball well, Skip. Even with the ball fourth quarter lead, the Lakers have the 6th best net fourth quarter rating. So it's not like they've been an overall bad team. They haven't. They lost. They got reckless with the basketball. They stopped playing defense like the Nets didn't do the entire night, play defense. They didn't play defense for one quarter, and it cost them the game. They also turned the ball over at a high clip, cost them the game. But I'm not concerned about LeBron James. I'm not concerned about Anthony Davis. I'm not concerned about the Lakers. The Lakers will be just fine. They're working on their rotation. They're working on getting reps, getting continuity. And when that thing, watch it click.
So, against Golden State, is it fair to say LeBron was starting to lose some confidence? Maybe not in himself, but maybe in his team?
No, I think the biggest thing what happened with LeBron, and it happens to a lot of guys, is that when they don't get the calls that they think they deserve, and the superstars believe they deserve every call, doesn't matter how big or small it is, they believe they deserve the call. And when LeBron didn't start getting the calls, I think he started getting frustrated. I think he started to force some things that he didn't have to do. That's natural. I'm not concerned about LeBron James.
Okay.
You shouldn't be concerned about LeBron James.
Well, if I could remind everyone what happened in the last 4.5 minutes of the Golden State game.
They lost
at Staples. If we could just remind everybody. Here we go. Here's LeBron. Whoops, it's going to shoot a three. LeBrick. Let's try LeBron. You have to dribble before you go. You're traveling. Whoops. Okay, he was mad at Schroeder on that. Then
no, what matters, Schroeder? He just threw the ball to Kyle Kuzma right there.
Away. LeBron, you have to dribble before you run. Okay, there's a third turnover, and then here's a nothing but backboard. Nothing but backboard? Come on, LeBron. And here's the last shot. This was a tough one. Draymond kind of played a little bit of defense, his business partner on him, and he just missed it. But it was a clean look. It was probably the best look the best miss that he took.
And I seen a guy that missed 2 shots now that could have won games. I saw a guy, you say the best player on the planet, now, he had 2 games. In the last 5, he had 2 shots to win the game. He'll have missed both of them now. And mid-range, you say he the best mid-range game?
Oh, you mean the one last night?
Yeah, the last night.
He wanted the ball and Kyrie didn't give him the ball?
No, in regulation. I'm talking about the regulation. He got it. He missed the shot.
Oh, that's the end of the first.
Yeah, the regulation.
Oh, at the end of regulation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had that. And then remember, he missed the other one. Remember? He got it. He had 2 cracks at it. Kyrie missed it. He got the rebound, missed it again. You saw that, right? That's 2 of them.
Who would you rather take the last shot, Kevin Durant or LeBron James?
I want the ball in Go James' hands.
You want the ball in the best player on the planet's hands.
Skip.
Because he showed you in back-to-back NBA Finals that he was the MVP in LeBron's face in his house.
All I'm saying is one guy has made more clutch shots than KD. One guy has more finals and finals MVPs and regular season MVPs than KD. Now, that's what you say. That when you give me the Jordan argument, that's what you tell me. You tell me one guy has this, and this. So, therefore, Shannon, he can't be that. Now, on the flip side, one guy is doubling him up all across the board. And now he better. Now, I need you to pick one side, pick one lane instead because you sideswiping me.
Staying in it that Kevin Durant is unstoppable right now.
Can I ask you a question?
He's at his peak.
Let me ask you a
He is
question.
7 feet tall, and he shoots mid-range like nobody I can remember since Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Skip Bayless, if you don't mind me asking, tell me the time that you heard the comparison, the GOAT comparison between Kevin Durant and Michael Jordan.
I don't care about that because there should be no GOAT comparison because the GOAT is the GOAT.
Okay,
It's over and done.
You know who the GOAT is.
The only blasphemy that I ever hear is LeBron is better than Jordan.
Let me ask you a question. How many times have you ever heard that Kevin Durant is the second greatest basketball player to ever play?
Well, he's just getting started. You give him about 8 more years.
Oh, you'll play 8 more years?
Yeah.
You're going to play 8 more years?
Sure, at this level.
8 more years. So that'll be 22 seasons.
Remember, Kevin's not a leaper by nature, so he's so long and so gifted.
22 seasons.
He'll be nailing these 10, 12-foot jumpers for 8 more years. Sure.
As long as they're not to win the game,
How
he'll be
many more
fine.
championships he's going to win? But he could get to 6 at this rate.
he ain't going to beat us. He ain't going to have
I
more
think
than
we're
us.
seeing a budding dynasty in Brooklyn right now.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Greatest show on earth.
Okay.
Nothing but nets.
You saw what happened to the Ewing dynasty. Oh, Jock Ewing, Who's-Shot JR.
Nothing.
It lasted a long time, though.
Creative. Interesting there. Guys, listen, will the Packers do a better job protecting Rodgers against the Bucs? Orlando Skandrick will join us to help break it all down. Don't go anywhere.